Hi Mama Linaw, have a good day with a full of bless. So my name is Janhiel and Balansag from the section 3B. So for today's video Mom, I will discuss the step-by-step procedure on how to apply the wireless security details and configure it for the required maximum security. And also the applying firewalls on all platforms including Windows, Mac OS, Linux for certain type and usage. And the last but not the least, applying best use methods of authentication including passwords and the best password manager to use. So without further ado, just keep on watching. At this point, let us know first what is wireless security. Ang wireless security is the prevention of unauthorized access or damage to computers sa mga data nag-use o wireless networks, which include Wi-Fi networks. So the most common type is Wi-Fi security, mo ni ang Wired Equivalent Privacy, WEP, and Wire Protected Access, WPA. And this time, here are the 6 steps on how to apply the network wireless security. So the first step toward a secure WLAN deployment is to conduct a site survey. Several tools exist on the market that can help you perform a site survey. Why is a site survey so important element sa WLAN security? Because mo man siya mo-locate o asa dapit mo point or other unauthorized wireless devices that may already exist on the network. After all, a network security is determined by its weakest link, and any open access point will be that weak link. Ang site survey guys is also makatabang sa tuwa nga mo determine whether existing access points have been secured. And the second step is to strike a balance. Securing a WLAN involves striking a balance between convenience and security. So the next step is to determine exactly how the WLAN will be used. So now the network required level of security is determined by several factors. One of the first to consider is location and signal strength. For businesses that share office space or are located in office building, reducing the range can prevent eavesdropping from external resources. It's accomplished by using directional antennas or by positioning access points away from windows and external walls. Some access points have adjustable transmission power, and this can also be used to reduce range. And the step 3, turn off SSID broadcast. One of the first item a wireless hacker looks for is a service set identifier or SSID. Each access points transmit a SSID. So client system locate a wireless network and associate with the closest access point. One of the simplest way to bring a little security to a WLAN is to turn off this SSID broadcast. It helps delay unauthorized users from associating with the WLAN. The downside is that it may slightly complicate setting up client system. The client system will need to have the SS manually inputted to connect to the WLAN. And the step 4, change default passwords. Most access points come pre-configured with a default password. For wireless hackers, those passwords and login routines are common knowledge. So, regardless of the intended use of the WLAN, you should change its default password immediately. Fail to change those passwords and you risk giving strangers full administrative access to our wireless devices. And the step number 5, use WEP encryption. When it comes to encryption, more is always better, and some is better than none. Most commercially available access points support WEP, or should I say Wired Equivalency Protocol encryption, despite its relative limitation. WEP or the Wired Equivalency Protocol can be valuable ally in protecting your customers' WLANs. Using WEP has 2 main advantages. The first one is it discourages the random hacker, and the second one, it announced that the WLAN is indeed a private closed network. The last step but not the least, use MAC address filters. A MAC address filtering can be a viable technology for protecting WLANs that have limited number sa wireless clients that rarely change. Ang MAC address guys, mo-filter na siyang mga trabaho by allowing only authorized MAC addresses to access the access point. Specifically, the only devices na i-allowed na mo'y gamitin sa WLAN are wireless card whose MAC addresses has been entered into a table stored on the access point. So let's move on how to apply firewalls on the Windows, Mac OS X or Linux. And this is the quick step for that. Okay, click the Apple menu, select System Preferences, and click the Security and Privacy icon. And next, click the Firewall tab, click the lock icon, and enter your password. Click Turn on Firewall to turn the firewall on, and then click Firewall Options to configure your firewall's options. That's all. This time I will discuss how to apply the best authentication including the password. Okay, current technology is always developing and also increases the risk of being hacked. One of the most widespread and well-known methods of authentication are password. Passwords have been existing for a long time. However, it's becoming more and more complicated to use password authentication as we have to create not one but a number of various passwords. To failure safe, to create a reliable password that should be long enough and consist of various numbers, letters, and characters. So I believe that in myself, every one of us has different social media platforms. In my case, I have a Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, and all of that I have a different password. You know already how password is important para dili ma-hack sa iban, because once ma-hack ang imong account, it's risgo para sa imong hack. Kaya pwede gamitin ang imong personal identity or personal appearance sa ibang tao, ipang daot sa ibang tao. So para aware mas yung password, kailangan it is a reliable and original. Next one is two-factor authentication. Despite all the passwords, there are many services that allow you to add second level of security. Through the use of two-factor authentication, it can either be a code generated on your devices or you send to your phone. It's also possible to generate such as code on a external device. That's all for today's video, and I hope I can add your knowledge about this.